Got the H to Izzo on deck. Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? So, man, today was actually the first day I did yoga. And for you guys that don't know, I do a lot of like active sort of sports. Everything from I'm on powerlifting routine. I'm on strong lift 5x5. I do jujitsu and stuff. And recently, I've been getting like some mobility issues in my shoulder. I don't know if it's from like the arm bars or cranks or something, but I noticed like my right side is a lot stiffer than my right. And then I noticed like my right hip as well is very tight, like near the ass and whatnot, near the glutes. And I just noticed that, I was just getting really tight and I needed more and more massages, right? And so I was like, well, I gotta do something, right? So I mean, I've always like sort of done a little bit of mobility work through Kelly Starr, and I like his routines a lot, but then I was like, well, I find myself not really committing to it, and so I wanted a complete system that would force me to go, like it's in a class format, that's where I learn best, and just loosen up everything. And boy, I went today and it freaking felt so good. It's not like jujitsu or fighting where you feel like you're gonna die. It's still hard work, but it's all the small muscles that you never train. Like, I have flat ass feet, dude. Like, look at that shit. No arc, right? When we were doing the balancing poses and all this, you feel all these sort of small intricacies that you never get to work out, and it felt really good. I felt my shoulders loosening it up, and there's a meditative aspect too with yoga, which is really cool. And I feel like I just took a long ass shower and I just feel very good. And you feel almost like this high when you're coming out. I feel very creative. I feel like there's this like positive mindset that I have that I don't necessarily always get from like powerlifting or jujitsu. Yeah, you get that like jujitsu high when you come out of class after you either get your ass kicked or kick some ass, right? Feels good. But this is a very different sort of feeling. It's almost like the yin and yang type of feeling. You gotta balance out the hard energy or hard chi and soft chi, balancing the hard energy with the soft energy, right? It's got hippie talk and shit, but I feel like that's very important. When you're always like grinding and stuff, you need some downtime. And I felt like this sort of practice is very healthy for me, and I needed it in my life. I noticed so many things about my body, even in this first session. Like, I have really shitty like shoulder mobility. As I just said, my arc is like fucking, my foot arc is killing me. I noticed that my hamstrings and stuff, I'm not as flexible as I used to be when I used to do kung fu and used to pop splits all the time, right? But it's really a lightning experience just starting anew. I felt the same feeling back when I was doing powerlifting as well. Like when I decided to throw in Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu and stuff, and it's just too much for my body and it was killing my CNS. I just saw my lifts go down and down, and then my form was breaking down. I was like, fuck, how can I get this back up? And then that's how I got started on the strong list 5x5, because it has you start really light weights and increase every week. And I was like, I need to get my form in check, make sure everything is good, because I have no plans on ever competing, whether in jiu-jitsu or competitive yoga, right? I have no plans in competing in jiu-jitsu, MMA, powerlifting, or anything like that. At this point in my life, I'm not really into that, and it's more of myself, and it's a self-discipline of showing up every day, just going, and it felt really good. I can see why people always like sip on kombucha and stuff like that as well. It gives you this really good positive feeling, and nothing can really bring you down in the day, But yeah, other than yoga, I've also been reading Tony Robbins' Unshakable book, which is a really cool book on investing. I think Tony Robbins, I don't think his material is like revolutionary or anything. Some people think of him as like a con artist, but I think where Tony Robbins does really well is just like breaking down really complicated topics and just simplifying it into everyday sort of things, you know? One of the things that and because of his book, actually, I finished up my pre-course, at least writing the script, so I should be shooting it soon. So for y'all that signed up for my pre-course emailing list, you guys should be hearing soon from me. But anyways, he takes these really cool concepts, like really basic concepts like expense ratio, right? And with expense ratio, if you don't know what it is, it's basically how much it costs to maintain a fund, the maintenance fee on an investment, right? And if you guys don't know, a lot of active managed funds or people that have managers and whatnot who are actively looking at the funds, they can charge you up to 3%, right? And 3% might not seem a lot, but when you compare the performance and the fees on an index fund, which is like for Admiralty, for a Vanguard Admiralty fund, it's like 0.05%. And when you hear 3 versus 0.5%, you don't really understand the concept. But one of the things that he did a really good comparison of the difference in those expense ratios is comparing it to a latte, right? At Starbucks, you typically pay $4 for a latte, right? For your basic bitch iced vanilla latte, right? And then imagine coming the next day, paying for that same latte over $240. That is a 60 times difference, or 60 times more, you know? And and we're only talking about $4. Imagine over the course of your lifetime, when you're like, if you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, how much that it can easily cost you millions and stuff. So I've been reading his book. It's been pretty good. Honestly, it's been really nice just reading again, sort of like meditative. I'm also my friend, like one of my friends, or one of the people on YouTube recommended me to buy this book. I actually already had this book, but I've been reading it, and the importance of a Sunday ritual and doing deep work sometimes, you know? Sometimes we get so caught up with all the shallow work we have in life, and we don't do enough deep work. And I feel like for me, I fell into that trap where, you know, I got so caught up trying to create videos all the time. I got so caught up trying to create articles all the time. I forgot about the biggest thing that matters the most. And to me, it's the course, you know? I feel very strongly about it. I feel like there are currently resources for learning investment stuff, but it's not relatable. It's still very hard to learn. And if I could break it down into an easy way for people like you and people like me back then, it'll bring so much value into the world, right? So I've been reading a lot of books. Another update I've been also redecorating my room-ish, sort of. If you guys don't know, I have a bed now right over here. So I've been sleeping on a bed for the last week. I feel like my back and stuff is kind of like loosening up. I don't know if it's a really good feeling. I really like sleeping on the ground a lot. I feel at peace sleeping on the ground. But I also bought like a few stools and a coffee table, and I'm going to mimic that coffee table look in this side of the corner. When I get that set or shot done, I'll show you guys what I mean. I think it'll look pretty nice. I think Mother Angela wants to decorate it, even though I want to be simple as fuck. Maybe Mother Angela will come over and do it. And speaking about Mother Angela and Mother people, it's so crazy. Like, it's already April. It's almost 1 month since my original birthday, but people are still treating me out to my birthday dinners and stuff, which is really awesome. My cousin, he treated me out to Fogo de Chao or wherever, the Brazilian barbecue place, and it was amazing. Too bad I had food poisoning from the Mexican food the other day, which fucking sucked. Literally on Saturday, all I did was just stay in bed. I didn't feel better until later in the day. I went to Fogo de Chao with my cousin, and all I was doing was eating like fruit and shit, which I rarely ever do. I rarely eat fruit because I'm on keto. That's a no-go on keto. So this weekend I've been sort of fucking up with keto, but it's okay. 1 or 2 days is not gonna fuck you up completely. But anyways, Angela wanted to grab dinner later that night. I was like, fuck, I can't do it, homie, shit. And so we're probably gonna reschedule. I got to see a lot of people at Coachella. My Instagram feed was full of people at Coachella, which is cool. People ask me if I ever want to go to Coachella. I'm not really into those type of events, but I want to experience it at least once in my life. And I think it's important to have those experiences, like to at least say that you went and just try it out. Because in my mind, I'm just like, oh, it's hella bougie, it's hella expensive. Why should I do it? You know, and I have enough trips this year that like I spent a pretty good penny on all the trips I'm going on this year. So I couldn't necessarily, well, I could afford it, but I didn't feel comfortable affording it. So there's Coachella. But I've been just going to a lot of rap concerts too. Like the last week, I went to go see 21 Savage. I got to chill with Joe again for his birthday. I got to do a lot of cool things, and I got to see my friends. We just went bowling on Saturday, and I was playing with Musically. So honestly, I think living in K-Town, the biggest thing about living in K-Town is, for me, like it's very therapeutic, and I feel like I have a life back again. When I was living back in Whittier with like the boys and stuff, the Spyglass boy, it just felt like I was just living day by day after traffic, you know? Like even this morning, like felt so good. I could just woke up, did a little writing for Refugee Hustle, and then I just went to yoga studio. I'm going to jiu-jitsu at like 11ish, and I might have dinner later with my cousin and stuff, which is awesome, you know. And that's something I definitely couldn't have done before, you know. Like I would always have to think about where am I going to shower, when is traffic, stuff like that. But when you're in traffic, it don't matter, baby. So yeah, I've been going on for about 12 minutes. Those are some of the thoughts that I've been having. Got a lot of vlogs to edit. By the way, thinking about revamping Ask Kevin Yee. It's been like over 2 years since I've done an Ask Kevin Yee, and I think it'd be really cool, you know, just to revamp it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me at subscribers@refugeehustle.com. You can always send me a DM too at Kevin_the_refugee, Kevin the Refugee, with underscores in each field. And yeah, I mean, guys, thank you for watching. Just a little mutter ramble in the morning. Got no coffee right now because I had coffee earlier today, but drinking the agua, getting hydrated for jiu-jitsu to fucking kill, son. Take on some black belts and get my ass choked out. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a great day. I'm having a great day so far, and I'm about to shoot some Ask Kevin Yees, man. So anyways, guys, I'll see you later. Peace.